interesting slide here, future plans for the product. Let's find out what the microphone connector is about. Well, the microphone connection is meant to be used for full duplex audio communication. And this function is in the future plans of the product because now the microphone connector is there, but is not implemented in the software. So you can connect the microphone, but it will not work. We want to use it mainly to reply when a SIP call is received. So you can also answer back to the call. But other applications might involve sound detection. So for security reasons, I want to listen to what an IPformer is. When an IPformer is installed in an environment, I want to listen that environment. So I can do sound detection and then maybe play out a file if I see something wrong in the area. Another application for the microphone connector is to monitor if the loudspeaker is actually playing sound. So if there is actually actual sound playing out, just for monitoring purpose. MPA 400 hardware. We are developing a new hardware, and here I reconnect to what I told you before about the acoustic performance of the device. With this hardware, we want to drive speakers that have the possibility to drive 40 watts of audio output. So we will not limit only to small environments, but we will be able to serve also larger environments with this solution. We are developing an important tool, the IPformer configuration tool. What is this? Now, imagine that you have an installation with 100 IPformers. Now, at the moment, if you want to configure each IPformer with the same configuration or do a configuration for a zone of IPformers, like 30 IPformers in one way, 30 in another way, and 40 in another way, you have to go into each single one of them, which of course is not a very streamlined approach. We want to organize everything using the configuration tool. And please pay attention to the word I'm saying, using a serverless approach. So you will not have to purchase a server and have all the devices connected to the server to administer the system. The master device will be one of the IPformer. And when you configure the device, you will have the possibility to group multiple IPformers detected automatically from this master device and create different zones where you can push the configuration at once. So you don't have to log in into each single one of them. This tool is under development and it will be soon available. If you have other projects where you have deployed already Annuncicoms instead, running simple paging or IC paging applications, and you have a request to change the audio system in there, and you want to use the IPformer, we can discuss about supporting the Bart Protocol, which is the one used by those firmwares from Barrix to page into the device in that way, and use those firmwares to create zones and groups of IPformers in a paging system based on Annuncicom devices. Another interesting feature and another important topic is AES67. We would like to add decoding support for AES67 compatible devices to have mainly a synchronized playout. At the moment, the device is able to retrieve the clock and set its own internal clock with NTP, which for those of you who is not so familiar with the term, is Network Time Protocol, and it sets its internal clock in that way. You can configure the NTP in the user interface, but to ensure a synchronized and a low latency playout from a sender to the receiver, we would like to add also support for AES67, which is using the PTP protocol instead of the NTP protocol, a much more reliable protocol in terms of synchronized devices that has to play a stream at the same time altogether. So, and the last message here, an important call, as always, Barrix is very strong and reactive when it comes to specific request. So just ask and let's open a discussion.